Hey everybody, it's your boy GARDNSOUND. I haven't uploaded a video in a while, and that's because I've really been enjoying my time with my family. If you want to know specific questions about that, or my sobriety, or anything like that, just ask me in the comments down below. But just to quickly answer a few of those bigger questions, yep, I'm still sober. Yep, everything's fine. I'm going to be uploading some stuff, for a bit at least. Welcome to the Friday tutorial. Today, and for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be giving you a series of tutorials that are designed to instruct you on something that I know really well in Ableton and how to transition that knowledge over to Bitwig. A lot of people that I've been talking to are dissatisfied with Ableton's recent updates, how much they've slowed the program down, how bloated Ableton has become, myself included. Now, in the background, I have been transitioning to Bitwig for about the last 3 years, maybe 2-3 years. I've been using Bitwig a lot on stream, so this shouldn't be a surprise for you all that tune into the channel regularly. But I am here today to say that Bitwig is great. I like using it, and I'm going to be showing you how to make kicks in Ableton and how to make a similar kick in Bitwig. Let's get started. And that's the good thing about this tutorial series. If you don't know how to make a kick in Ableton, by the end of this video, you will. If you don't know how to make a kick in Bitwig, by the end of this video, you will. Dual tutorials, dual toots, do toots. So here we are in Ableton. This is what a typical kick rack looks like for me. And I'm going to be putting this particular kick rack into the ADG container and putting that into the description for you all to download. So if you want this kick, go to the description, download this kick. You can also download the Bitwig kick, but we haven't gotten there yet. So here's how you make a kick in Ableton. You got your DS kick drum, which is it's an instrument, and then you add effects to it, right? My kicks typically sound like this. It's the kind of music I produce. You might produce something differently. All these settings are tweakable to your taste. So what I'm going to do now is erase this, and I'm going to rebuild it for you to show you how to make this in Ableton. First thing you're going to need is DS kick, and that's DS as in Delta Sigma kick. All right, we're going to pop this down here. And now in this order, we're going to grab vocoder. I'm using Control F to search, by the way. We're going to go glue compressor next. And then we're going to go with saturator. We're going to highlight all these plugins, and then we're going to press Control G to put them into a group. Now, here's our kick rack. What we're going to do for a minute is turn off the saturator, the glue compressor, and the vocoder so we can hear what we're doing with these settings. These all change the sound in their own various ways, and we want to make sure that we're applying the correct settings in order. All right, so we're going to turn the overdrive up to like, I don't know, 25% or so. Good. I'm going to turn the envelope down. The envelope is the pitch drop at the beginning of kicks, and you can hear more extreme examples if you turn the envelope up. Pew, pew. You hear that? All right, we're going to turn that down a bit. Right there. We're going to turn the decay down. Now, I want it to be more of a thud and less like a bounce kind of thing. That's pretty good. Turn the click on and invert the phase. Now I'm going to go to vocoder and turn this on. Wait a minute, where'd my kick go? Oh, the dry wet's all the way up. So let's turn that down to like 10%. I'm going to turn the range on the filter all the way up. Turn the bands up to 24. Now you can play with the release and the attack a little bit. If you play with the release, you get some really cool effects like this. But 150, which is the default, works well for me. And we're going to turn that dry wet up until we start to hear the sizzle on top of the kick that I'm listening for. 25% works out to be about right. Next, I'm going to use glue compressor to give the bass a little bit more roundness. The way we're going to do this is turn it on, first of all. Turn the attack down to nil, the release to auto, and the ratio to 2. And I'm going to turn the threshold basically all the way down. I want to see it slap the 20. See that needle slapping, dog. All right, looks like 38 is about where it quits slapping, so I'm going to do negative 38. And makeup usually goes all the way up, so we're just going to do that. Yep, I was right. Turn soft clipping on. And you can hear that A-Bing it. It just adds a little bit of like hoo, kind of a chuff noise to the low end that I really like that noise. Then I'm going to add saturator, turn the drive up to 2, and the algorithm to soft sign. Soft clip on. Boom. There's my basic kick. Let's do this in Bitwig. Now, I'm assuming this is your first time using Bitwig. This tutorial is designed to get you to transition from Ableton to Bitwig. So, the first thing we need to do in Bitwig is press caps lock to turn on musical typing. Now we're going to go to our instrument track, and we're going to double click down here, not Control F. That'll open the Finder window, and we can type in E Kick. All right, we've got our kick generator put on the track. The next thing we're going to do is adjust our settings. So we want to make sure that we're getting the same tuning as we were in the last, in Ableton, which if we look, that was 43.3 hertz. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to dial in 43.3 hertz onto this particular plugin. To do that, to enter an integer into Bitwig, you triple click on the knob. So 1, 2, 3, and then we go 43.3. That seems like a pain in the ass at first, but trust me, once you get used to it, it's like second nature. I'm not a huge fan of the decay, so we're gonna turn the decay down. I'm not making 808s. There we go. The pitch mod is fine, nothing to change there. Let's turn the click up a bit. Makes it a little snappy, gives you an extra transient. And we're going to leave the effects sense alone and the output alone. Good. Now, there is something missing from this kick. Two things, actually, missing from this kick that are present on Ableton's kick. In Ableton, we have this phase invert, and we also have a overdrive, okay? I think that Bitwig were aware of this fact, and they've added two things to the program that we can easily add to the E-kick in order to get it the full functionality of Ableton's DS kick. And here's how we're going to do that. You click the plus. This adds things in series, and we're going to add. Let's see here. We're going to add amp, not saturator. Saturator is a bit different in Bitwig. We're not using saturator. You can pretty much use amp where you would use saturator in Ableton. And we're going to add tool, not the band, although I love the band. Tool is kind of like utility in Bitwig. And we're just going to click swap LR. That's all we're doing with tool. Now in amp, what we're going to do is we're going to open the folder here, and we're actually going to scroll down to the preset called, where is it? E-kick driver. Love that. It's literally designed to be the overdrive from Ableton's DS kick. How cool is that? Now here we are back at our plugins page. So what we've got to do here is dial our settings in. Let's turn the mix down. I just there we go. You get a lot more granular control over the overdrive. There we go. We've got our kick generator set up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is group these together. All right, that's our kick generator. Then I'm going to add, in this order, vocoder. And then I'm going to add dynamics. Now there's a difference between my chain in Bitwig and my chain in Ableton. And the difference is that in Ableton, right before the end of the chain, I have saturator. The reason I don't do this in Bitwig is because dynamics in Bitwig handles that last amount of sauce that you put on the saturator by allowing you to kind of oversaturate the signal. So now we're going to edit the vocoder. If you've never edited the vocoder in Bitwig, it's drastically different than the vocoder in Ableton in terms of its settings and flexibility. And I would say overall, my main takeaway with transitioning from Ableton to Bitwig is how much more control you have over everything in Bitwig. Looking at vocoder, let's tweak those same initial settings. And what we're going to do is increase the filter all the way up to 20,000. We're going to turn the mix down because, again, it's going to swallow up our kick. And we're going to turn the vocoder to stereo, which is awesome. All right, let's turn our release as well to 150. Remember to triple click to enter the integer. Now, interesting thing going on with the main carrier in by default in the vocoder here. It is a brown noise and not a white noise like you have in Ableton. So if we click on carrier, you'll see that it brings up a couple of plugins here. These are plugins that are designed to be the carrier. You can insert plugins into the inputs of plugins in Bitwig. That's a different topic for a different time, but basically all you need to know is to just click here where it says carrier and it opens up this little sub menu. Think of this like another container inside of Ableton. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the grid, which again, this is a whole other can of worms for a whole other tutorial, but just click here. And you'll see that there is a high pass and a low pass filter. We're going to crank those all the way up. Now, we're starting to hear that white noise we're looking for. So I'm going to close this. And now you can see we can tweak with these two settings, this being the carrier gain and the dry wet mix, to get the sizzle on top of the kick that we're familiar with from Ableton. I'm going to close the grid as well. That's about what I'm looking for. Now let's start tweaking dynamics. In dynamics, we have a low threshold, a high threshold, and I'm basically just going to treat this like a glue compressor. So if I turn the ratio down to 2 on both of these, oh yeah, I like how it sounds. I'm going to grab all these guys and put these into a group. And now I've got a kick generator. And I think that'll end the video. So thanks for watching. If this was helpful, don't forget to click subscribe and leave a like. And post this somewhere where you see tutorials. That really helps me out. I'm glad to be back again. And I hope these continue to be fun enough for me to keep making them, because that's the only criteria I have for making videos anymore. I don't do this for cash money anymore, guys. I just do this because I enjoy it. So, again, if you have any questions for me about my personal life or anything else really, just drop them in the comments down below. And I'm going to keep making tutorials about how to transition from Ableton to Bitwig. Bye!